have our own understanding of this. And if it wasn't surrounded by such a web of lies, then it would be easy to believe. But it just seems like it's the opposite. Every time they say, don't have partners to Allah except him and his messenger. They contradict themselves, like right after they say things. I just can't. Impossible. And I think the opposite. I mean, they want to believe. They want to believe it's a girl, then believe it's a girl. Prove it. Prove it was a girl. You played with dolls, really? That's all they got. That's it. That means the whole hadith corpus is garbage. That's ultimately what I'm trying to prove. You hit it right on the head. You can't prove this girl. You can't prove this girl. You can't prove any of it. Let's just try to figure out who Aisha is. Was she a boy or was she a young woman?
And what was the point of females back then? They're respectful to females now, but it was so that way they can bear strong children. Why did he keep her around at that point? Was it out of compassion or was it a different motive?
How old did Aisha live to? How old was she when she died? 60s? Only men lived up to the 60s. Women never lasted that long.
Well, I think that Aisha is a crucial lynch. You pull that pin and everything comes crumbling down.
I'm not Muslim, but I think if you're going to make the argument...
Why are you interrupting me?
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. Let me just finish what I'm saying. If Aisha's credibility and her historicity is in question, and 60% of Bukhari is narrated by Aisha, 40% of Muslim is narrated by Aisha. If the historicity of her is very essential for the legitimacy of traditionalism, of the Sunnah. The Sunnah itself is in question with the historicity of Aisha. And we know nothing until 200 years after the death of the Prophet about her. I mean, upon what does Sunni Islam rest? Sorry, go ahead, Teresa. That was my only point.
I didn't mean to interrupt you. Sorry. But I was going to say, if you're going to make the point, because, women didn't live that long, she could have also been an exception because Khadijah was narrated to live a long time, too.
I don't know about that. Rich woman lifespan.
65 years.
Yeah, see what I mean?
65 years old.
But I feel like if you want to make, a better point than... I think that doesn't really work. I think the best bet is just to kind of take Islam by its roots and destroy it from there, instead of the Hadith, kind of destroy it from the Quran.
From all angles. We don't just do one direction, but yeah, I mean, you can destroy it from the Quran, but
I mean, a lot of the Hadiths I kind of think are... I mean, I don't even think Islam by itself being bad morals should just be common sense. If he is a good prophet or whatever, then why does he have such bad morals? You could just make the morality argument.
The bulk of the information... All right, let's frame it. 60% of Bukhari is narrated by Aisha. 40% of Muslim. And that's a large portion of the Sunnah. I mean, what happens to the Sunnah if the historicity of Aisha is in question. The bulk of information Aisha comes from elite collections such as Bukhari, Muslim texts assembled roughly 2 centuries. 200 years after the events they describe. These collections rely heavily on chains of oral transmission whose reliability cannot be verified. Their external records, archaeological evidence, contemporary written testimony. The figure of Aisha therefore emerges not from direct historical observation, but from a carefully curated narrative tradition shaped by later scholarly communities. Modern academic research, including the work of Jonathan J. Little, further highlights how even specific details about Aisha, such as a pivotal aspect of her biology, appear to trace back to limited transmission networks and later historical memory. When the foundational elements of a figure's biography depend on such narrow and retrospective sources, the certainty with which later tradition presents that figure begins to appear disproportionate to the evidentiary base. In historical terms, Aisha occupies a paradoxical position. She is one of the most influential transmitters of religious law and intimate prophetic tradition, yet she remains almost entirely absent from contemporaneous, independently verifiable historical documentation. The result is a figure whose authority looms large within religious history, while resting upon a record that, by the standards applied to many other ancient personalities, would be considered strikingly thin. And I ask the question again: what happens to tradition? What happens to the Sunday? When we find out that I
gone, and it's mostly like
it's fucked. It's fucked. It's fucked. It's fucked.
What would be the point of inventing it?
it's
Danielle, based on, like, what would be the point if you could attribute it to somebody that actually existed?
What are you asking me?
What would be the point of inventing a character when they could just as easily have attributed whatever they want to attribute to somebody that actually existed?
Look, I have no idea. I mean, I don't understand what that kind. Like, why would they make it up? The reason they made it up is because they based a lot of the law on her. So people that said that they had a testimony from her, there was a lot of clout. There was a lot of the gravity of her statements. They hold weight, right? So if you say that Aisha said something, that's legally binding. That becomes part of Sharia. So that's why they make this stuff up.
Right, but it only has weight if the person if they already knew the person actually existed, right? I don't understand. Are you saying she didn't exist, or saying, like my good friend, that she was actually a boy?
I think you're having trouble with following. The whole point is that the historicity of Aisha is in question, and if the hadiths that are based upon her narration are in question as well, given that we don't know much about her. It may be attributed to someone that didn't exist, as far as we know. Now, the question you ask is like, well, why would they do such a thing? I don't know. I mean,
No, I'm saying
are you a Muslim?
No. If I'm going to invent something, right? Let's say the hadith or whatever. I want this thing to be attributed with some strength, with some authority. Then I have people that I'm like, there are names of the whatever they call them, Sahaba. I could have chosen anybody because it's 100 years later. Nobody will know, right? Why invent somebody that raises the questions exactly that you're asking, or that whoever you're reading their work raises? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. There's something doesn't work. A liar always bases something on a little kernel of truth, right? So I don't know why I would attribute to an entirely made up person.
Well, because she exists in oral tradition. What are you talking about? She exists within tradition. So I'm talking about the historicity of Aisha in contemporaneous documentation, archaeology, and things like that. So she does exist within the tradition. So why did they make up that he had a wife? I don't understand what your question is.
Well, at some point, this character, assuming the character did not exist, at some point it have to be invented. And the question is,
what when you have plenty of people around that you could, attribute whatever you want to already? Why take the chance of being so discovered, so to speak?
Well, because of the tradition of her being and her intimacy with the prophet and her nearness to the prophet, which makes her testimony more poignant, and her nearness to the prophet himself.
Right. So why would tradition existed?
Just stop for a second. You have no idea what you're talking about. I don't think you understand Islam or the argument that I'm trying to make. If you want to marry a 6-year-old girl, let's say that you want to marry a 6-year-old girl and you want to fuck a 9-year-old girl, how are you going to do that? Well, you're going to fucking make up a story about fucking Muhammad marrying a 6-year-old girl and fucking a 9-year-old girl. And that's going to make it kosher, dude. That's why they do it. That's why she's the basis of so much. Like I said, 60% of Bukhari, 40% of Muslim is based upon, are narrated by Aisha, a figure with scant historical representation.
All right, that's the reason. I understand.
Why don't they just make up instead of just making up a character, why don't they just pick someone that really did exist with the prophet and that everyone knows about, so that they would never, like, what kind of a question, like, dude. Yeah, this is directly from Joshua Little's, Jay Little's dissertation, Oxford scholar. And even he writes it. They don't even know how old they can't even determine her age using critical theory. They have no fucking clue.
Who would question the wife of the prophet, right?
Right, which means that I'm saying before the hadith are written down, there had to already have been a tradition that this person existed, whether she did or didn't, or whether it's a boy or whatever. There had to have been a pre-existing tradition, right?
Yeah, I guess there probably was a pre-existing tradition about it. Maybe she did exist. We can always speculate. But what I'm trying to do is, I'm not saying like, look, Aisha didn't exist. That's not the point that I'm trying to make. I'm just explaining to you that the evidence for her existence is very scant. No, there are people that existed. And the evidence for them is very scant. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
There's some guy who wasn't like, he did live a very unremarkable life. He was a farmer. He existed. There's no evidence that he existed anywhere, but nonetheless he existed. Do you understand that, at least? That people exist, there's nothing, no documentation to suggest they did.
Fred's not going to help you today.
Yeah, there you go.
Completely transparent rescue.
God.
If you're looking for modern design, bright open spaces, and a backyard made for gathering, this 4-bedroom gem is ready for you. Let's schedule a tour. If you're looking for modern design, bright open spaces, and a backyard made for gathering, this 4-bedroom gem is ready for you. Let's schedule a tour.
What's making you think that she didn't exist? Or are you just like listing things that would totally ruin the authenticity of all the hadiths?
It makes me think that she didn't exist.
Yeah, like, are you claiming that you don't think she exists? Like, what makes you think that? Just curious.
لایه‌های مختلفی داره. من یکی از
یکی از مواردی که شاهزاده دیده شده گفتم چهرهایی که هم
Because I thought the argument was that like we can't prove that she's a girl or a woman.
گفتار اونا گفتمان اونا رو نزدیک
Yeah, that's
کردن
going to be more difficult to prove about her being a boy.
من خودم پای صحبت یه سری
So I kind of wanted to take a more broad approach to Aisha. But
Yeah.
Barth has a theory that Aisha was a boy.
How long do you think you guys? Let me ask you this, like, what does the debate really involve in the stakes? Like, whether or not you're right or wrong, you know, minus the time that you spend thinking about this, debating this. What's the outcome that you're looking for other than content? Is it giving you contentment?
What are you talking about?
I'm saying, I'm questioning, you know, how you spend your time using your brain. You asked for clarification. So I'm just asking you, what's the point? Hello?
You don't understand what we're even saying.
Oh, I speak English. I can actually hear you and listen to what you're saying. And I'm recording it, so if I want to go back and listen to it even more, guess what? I can.
Well, all right. What are we talking about?
I don't know. You tell me.
What's the topic?
Aisha, apparently. I mean, look at the name. Aisha. She, the eye of she. I'm sure that Aisha is not just a metaphor and not a little boy or a little girl. Hello? Are you being too literal? Hello?
Share your minute. But go in alone with it. It's depressing. Come on, just go away.
Hello? I'm depressing? Are you projecting onto me your own depression? I feel great. I'm having a Miller High Life over here and just had a wonderful Brazilian chicken dinner. Hello? Are you projecting? Hello?
That's weird.
Oh, now you sound like a Schwartz. That's what the Schwartz always say when they got nothing else to say. They say, that's weird. Weird. That's like no evidence to support what you're saying. So you just say that's weird. You ever notice that? That's kind of weird to me. Hello?
You're mentally ill.
Are you projecting on me? I've seen you, Daniel. You look like you haven't showered in weeks. Your hair is oily. It looks like you're from 1920s. You look dusty. Hello?
I honor the fact that you can sort of wheelchair from like PTSD or whatever happens to you mentally. I don't want to go there.
Hello?
Just go be mentally ill somewhere else.
Oh, I see.
Legit. Please.
Oh, I see. Okay. So it's a me problem. Okay. Got it.
You're being a weirdo.
Oh, really? I'm being a weirdo? You guys are on here 7 days a week talking about the same fucking topic, and I'm weird? Oh. Sorry, Daniel. It's not me who's weird. It's you. It's you who's weird. It's Megatron who's weird. You guys keep doing the same fucking thing every day. What the fuck's wrong with you? Hello? Fucking weirdo.
Megatron, I only want to call you a heretic, bro. Because he's an orthodox sympathizing heretic. And Daniel, you're an atheist sympathizer heretic.
You're a Last Supper. Are you Catholic?
Oh, yes.
I present
You
my
find,
niece as a
heretical
prospective
about
bride for your
the
son.
Bar's
What is it?
views.
Some sort of aquatic slug?
Is there anyone in particular?
feet.
There is the question of the dowry. You are short the amounts we agreed on. That is an installment with more to follow.
If it were a thing of beauty,
Hold on,
we
playing
could
PUBG.
overlook such things, but it most certainly is not.
My uncle, His Grace the Pope, is too modest. He is also offering
No, I just want to become a clubhouse
of
for hours.
Urbino with its wealth of farmland.
What do you say?
We happily accept your increase in the dowry.
Congratulations. No French, no match is good accepted. To stay in favour long enough to get pregnant. Do you think you can manage that?
Well, shall we go and meet the groom? My second son, Henry, Duke of Orleans.
Much nicer to look at in real life than your portrait. Did you see that?
Majesty. Just like that, we were married.
Hello?
You're protected. I've seen this.
China does a good job of replicating and copying us to certain degrees, right? But they're not like true innovators. They're just not.
Have very deep conversations about mental illness, genius, epigenetics, and medication. We had that conversation. I made some tofu. I think I won't die. I think it was edible. I have an idea to make some more. I'd be really healthy about it.
Is all tofu edible?
Well, I mean, if I cook it, it might not be.
Oh.
But I did I think I did an okay job. I put some olive oil down. I threw some spices on it. I swirled it around. It was good. I'm not mad at it. Add some hot sauce. Really good. Next time I'm going to try to add some beans. Garbanzo beans. I think it'll be even better.
What kind of tofu was it? Brown? Oh.
I don't know. It was white. Are there different colors of tofu?
No. It's the density of it from our farm.
It was firm. It was like a block of tofu.
Okay. Did you do anything special before you cooked it, or?
I took it out of the water and then I used a napkin and I dried it a little bit and that was about it. I didn't do anything to it. I don't really know how to cook it. It's the first time I ever made it.
The next time.
Where were you when I did this help? I was asking everybody. Go ahead.
I don't know. Well, for next time, put like a saran wrap over it, and then put a couple of real heavy books over that. And so what it does is that it just squeezes all the water out. And then when you put it in your marinade, it kind of expands and sucks all the marinade back in.
Ooh, I didn't marinate it. I just put it straight into the fryer. And it was okay.
Yeah, you can marinate it with whatever you want. It's kind of like, portable mushroom that gets the flavor of whatever the flavoring is. And so this will do that too. So you can make it really delicious with whatever sauce and marinade. Okay then. Well, now I've eaten and now I have a little bit of a.
با امنیت زندگیشونو بکنن حتی اگه رأی نداشته باشن حتی اگه رأی بدن حتی اگه رأی مخالف بدن یا رو موافق بدن الان ما داریم نابود میشیم از دست همین طیف سلطنت طلبایی که دارن میگن مرگ اینوری مرگ اونوری، هر کی کنار ما نشینه مجاهده، هر کی کنار ما نشینه فلانه، هر کی که نشینه. من دوست ندارم کنار تو بشینم. این دموکراسیه. من دوست ندارم وجود تو باعث مشکله.
یعنی که در داخل وجود جمهوری اسلامی بیشتر موضوع تو به نظر من جمهوری اسلامی که وجودش باعث مشکله تا حالا یه سری طرفدارای پهلوی، یعنی من خودم اینجور در داخل خیلی هم با این طرفدارای دولتی که آقای پهلوی درگیرم، نجات دوستانم میدونم، ولی به نظر فکر نمی‌کنید که باید اون نوک پیکار روی جمهوری اسلامی باشه تا آقای پهلوی و طرفدارا دلال؟
بیارنجا ایشون رفتن از
تو گفتن
یکی نوشته از ایشون از طرفدار
کارش نمیرم چون می‌خواستم به چالش بکشم، چون کلا حرفایی که میزد زد و نقیض داشت حرفاش خیلی هم.
آقا شمایی که منو انداختی پایین، شما میگی صحبت نکن، ولی شما منو میندازی پایین و ایشون اومده یه فقط تخریب کنه، بعد هیچ راه حلی هم نداره، فقط
قانون اساسی
بهرنگ جان اول بگم خیلی بد میاد، امیدوارم صدای من بدیه، صدای شما انتقاد بده نکن.
شرمنده من دارم رانندگی میکنم، یکی دیگه از مادری
من اتفاقا من این آقای ایدیا رو نمیشناسم، یعنی من شاید بگم اولین بار حرفش رو شنیدم. اینی که افرادم میگه من از درون ایران هستم نمیدونم، یعنی من میتونم که بگم در درون ایران ولی نیست، ولی صحبت ایشون به نظر من بسیار درست بود. منتها همونجور که خودشم با صداقت گفت خودش که ببین من که تخصصم این نیست که بیام تمام جزئیات رو بفهمم و بدونم و بتونم به سوالات شما پاسخ بدم، ولی اون چیزی که من حس میکنم امروز جامعه ما میخواد من دارم حس خودم رو میگم.
Hello New York, we are bringing you Dubai to your doorstep on the 17th and 18th of February. We shall see in Manhattan.
ما به یک مسالمت اجتماعی برسیم بعد از جمهوری اسلامی، به جز این راهی که ایریال میگه راه دیگه وجود نداره. یعنی اگر قرار باشه بعد از جمهوری اسلامی ما نتونیم شرایطی باشه که گروه‌های مختلف بیان برای قدرت همه با هم مشارکت بکنن. برای چی مشارکت کنن؟ برای اینکه همدیگه رو حذف بکنن؟ خیر، برای اینکه بتونن در پلورالیسم سیاسی با همدیگه رقابت بکنن. منتها این قضیه در لحظه فروپاشی جمهوری اسلامی میسر نخواهد بود، با یه صندوق رأی هم حل نخواهد شد. بنابراین صحبت ایلیای کاملا درسته. این بستره باید قبل از اون به وجود بیاد، قبل از اینکه جمهوری اسلامی به وجود بیاد بستره باید به وجود بیاد که گروه‌های متنوعی بتونن در اونجا با هم دیگه بستره گفتگو، همکاری، همیاری داشته باشن. الان همچین بستره موجود نیست. اگر بخواد این بستره وجود بیاد باید یه سازماندهی سیاسی باشه که در اون سازماندهی سیاسی ایلیای به یه سخن خیلی جالبی توجه کرد که حالا تو کانتکست سیاسیش بهش میگن interim charter، یعنی یک منشوری برای دوران گذار، یک منشوری که در برگیرنده همه گروه ها باشه، همه گروه. یعنی شما نمیتونید بگید اینو اونو من دوست ندارم، نمیتونید بگید بعد دیگه آخه مجبورین چیکار کنید؟ حالا با اون گروه ها میکنین چیکار بکنید؟ بعد بکشینشون، اونا که هست نمیشن که، اونا که هستن. پس بنابراین باید همه گروه ها بشه. منتها گروه هایی هستن که نمیخواهند دموکراتیک باشن، یعنی گروه های کالتی هستن، مثلا مجاهدی. خب مسلمه در اون اینترنچار وارد نمیشن که بخواهن به قول من مشارکتی داشته باشن، برای خودشون کار کنن، خب برن دنبال کار خودشون. ولی بسیاری از گروه ها میتونن در واقع در یک منشوری که در واقع همه شمول باشه قرار بگیرن. حالا صحبت زدیم که این منشور رو کی بنویسه. خب اول بستره‌ای به وجود بیاد که آدم‌ها با هم صحبت بکنن. یعنی همون صحبت‌های خیلی جالب خانم گنجی برای من خیلی قابل توجه بود. گفتش که ببین بیا سوء تفاهم‌ها رو مطرح بکنن، بیان یه فضایی بیارن که اونا رو دعوت بکنن که بیان ما هم صحبت کنیم. کسی اینجا قدرت وجود نداره که بخوایم سهم به کسی بدیم. قدرت الان دست جمهوری اسلامی. پس بنابراین این سهم کشی قدرت یک خطای شناختی به یک مسئله ذهنیه. این ذهن شماست که داره میگه این اومده سهم ببره. کدوم قدرت که دست جمهوری اسلامی. پس بنابراین موضوع اینه که چجوری ما با همکاری هم دیگه تبدیل به قدرت بشیم که اسمش از آلترناتیو فرد نیست. مسلمه که یک فرد میتونه ریپرزنتیو داشته باشه، یعنی یک مدیر، یک رهبر میگه من رهبر این آلترناتیو هستم، ولی آلترناتیو یک سیستم سیاسیه. ما فعلا سیستم سیاسی نداریم. پس بنابراین باید به جای اینکه به آقای شاهزاده حمله بکنیم، به جای اینکه به گروه‌های دیگه حمله بکنیم، به جای اینکه به هم بپردازیم، اگه بگیم که این بده اون خوبه، شاهزاده کم زیاده، این بده، فخرآور بده، اون یکی بده، مجاهد رو بگیریم چی کارش بکنیم چی کارش نکنیم، به جای این خطاهای شناختی و فرابکنی ما باید نگاه بکنیم که اون صحبتی که ایلیای کرد در واقع مغز داستانه. چگونه میشه این چارچی رو به وجود آورد که دفعه در برگیرنده تمام نیروهای مخالف جمهوری اسلامی بشه که تبدیل به یک قدرتی بشه، جمهوری اسلامی رو ناکداون بکنه و از طریق دیگه اون چیز منشوری که اینها با هم دیگه دست دادن، قرار دادن، نوشتن، اون آینده‌ای باشه برای بعد از جمهوری اسلامی. یعنی این منشوری که الان قبلش دست دادن و دارن در اون مسیر همکاری و همیاری میکنن جوری باشه که در واقع مکانیزم‌هایی در واقع تولید بشه. یعنی سیستم سیاسی هم میگه سیستم سیاسی مکانیزم درست میکنه، سیستم سیاسی این مکانیزم رو درست بکنه، اون موقع بعد از جمهوری شما میتونید با خیال راحت بیان بگید که ما روش‌ها مجموعه‌های درست کردیم که باعث آرامش و صلح جامعه، ریکانسیلیشن جامعه میشه و همچنین در برگیرنده نیروهای مختلف سیاسی که حالا با هم دیگه بیان بشینیم که یک قانون اساسی یا کانستیتوشن رو از طریق یک مجلس مؤسسان به وجود بیاریم. مجلس مؤسسان جینی نیست که با بشکن بزنیم بگه الان من 4 نفرم میذارم این تو یه مجلس مؤسسان درست میکنم. مجلس مؤسسان نشون دهنده نماینده اقشار مختلف مردمه. خب شما اگر نتونید بستری اون رو به وجود بیارین، یک بستری سرکوب به وجود بیارین، مجلس مؤسسانتون هم مجلس مؤسسان ساختگیه. مجلس مؤسسانی که خودتون و افرادی که دوست دارین رو گذاشتین تو قانون اساسی هم مثل خب مگه مثل جمهوری اسلامی دیگه. جمهوری اسلامی مگه جمهوری اسلامی مجلس مؤسسان تشکیل نداره؟ من به شما میگم در شهریور سال 1358 مجلس مؤسسان تشکیل شد و جمهوری اسلامی هم قانون اساسیش از درون مجلس مؤسسان در اومد. ولی خب چی شد؟ چوتکی ولایی و این حرفا. بنابراین ما از امروز توجه بکنیم که چگونه این نقاط رو پر بکنیم با همکاری شاهزاده، با همکاری بقیه تا بتونیم این جریان و اون چیزی که ایلیایی گفتش که مردم این در برگیرنده این شمولگرایی رو طلب میکنن ما این رو بتونیم فراهم بکنیم. این وظیفه ما که در خارج از کشور این هسته. اونها در درون کشور نمیتونن این کارو بکنن چون سرکوب میشن. پس بنابراین در کشور آزاد حقه که این مسئله فراهم میشه. حالا شاهزاده میتونه بکنه نمیتونه بکنه با بقیه باید کمک. من نمیدونم، من اینجا برای شما یه راه حل جادویی ندارم، ولی اون چیزی که ایلیایی میگه به نظر من برخلاف دوستان که گفتن ضد و نقیض بود، من ضد و نقیض ندیدم تو حرفش، کامل نبود ولی ضد و نقیض نبود. بنابراین من فکر میکنم که اون صحبت ایشون رو فقط اومدم تعریف بکنم که بسیار صحبت به نظر من
از دیدگاه من ضد و نقیض بود حرفش. حالا من از شما سوال دارم. ماشاءالله خیلی زیبا سخن میگید، معلومه هم هست که معلوماتتون خیلی بالاست آقای کوروش و از من خیلی بیشتره. حالا من در پی صحبتاتون از اون سوال دارم. خب از اونجایی که ما میدونیم، حالا من یه چند تا نکته از حرفاتون گرفتم، خیلی دوست دارم جواب سوال منم بدید. از اونجایی که همه ما میدونیم آقای پهلوی میگه آقا من اصلا کاری به سلطنت ندارم من باشم چند باشم راست خودش بارها گفته حالا اینو داشته باشیم. شما مثلا میگید که ما خیلی بخوایم با زبان آمیانه بخوایم منظور شما رو متوجه شدم بگم اینه که شما به دور میز بشینین هممون به در مورد آینده و یا قانونی و چه اتفاقی بخواد بیفته و اینا صحبت میکنیم. سوال من از شما اینه رضا پهلوی با کی میخواد بشینه دور اون میز؟ با خانم مسیح علیرضا؟
You fucking retard. He said risk. Just a retard bitch, man. You have to perform a risk analysis. Is that what he said? Benny. Let him answer. He said minimum. Just a second. You're defending. Just a second. Just a second. You guys are defending Hamas. No, forget about that. He said, no. Can we get back on track here? No, we can't. No, we can't get back on track. You said the minimum, meaning what they have to plan for. So why don't you talk about this? What they should have planned for? You said they were wrong. Listen, right? Listen. You defend Hamas. Just answer it. No, I'm not defending Hamas. I'm saying to you, you're defending their action. No, I'm not defending their action. What I'm saying to you, questions. You don't know shit. No. I'm trying to ask questions based on what you're saying. So to get back to what we were talking about. You have questions. You said my turn. Yeah, of course. But listen, my turn. Did Hamas say what we did? We fucked up? Yes or no? Not in those terms, but yes. No. Hold on. Did Hamas say that? Yes or no? Yes, I said not in those terms. You're paraphrasing. There's no discussion. No, so can we? So if there's no discussion, why say here? If Hamas said it, that's it. We're done. Are you willing to discuss? Or are you not willing to discuss? What are you willing to do? I will tell you. I'm not willing to defend Hamas. Okay. Wrong. So if you're not willing to discuss, then why say here? Edward, you defend what? Do you want to discuss, or do you not want to discuss, or do you just want to talk? Defend Hamas. No, don't tell me what I want to do. Let's discuss it, and you figure out what I want to do. No, or what I'm about. You want to defend what Hamas already admitted is wrong. How do you know? How do you know I'm going to defend it? We haven't discussed it yet. You're going to tell somebody when you're debating, you're going to say, we're not going to debate anymore because I know this is what you're going to say. No. And then here I'm right because this is what you're going to say. No. Okay then. Stay quiet. Let me say. Edward, this is the guy. This is the problem with this guy, right? I gave him a scenario. If I am resisting against a criminal, this guy is right. Hold on. It's wrong. I want to go back to. Hang on a second, Edward. This is the guy. Bro, get the fuck up. It's not your fucking rule. أنا مش عربي أعتقد it's not every girl, man. Calm down. حسام عبد الحميد جدك لطول بالقمر شخ عليك جدك لشخ عليك. Why are you cussing my شخ عليك? Thank you. He's cursing me out, little bitch. عبد الحميد لشخ عليك. Okay, there you go. So, by the way, this is the same idiot. These are the fake people, right? He talks about, like, okay, fuck Hamas, sure. And then he wants to talk about my grandfather who dedicated his life from the age of 14 to serve the Palestinian people. And who sit in the audience, you have to come off the fucking mic every 2 seconds, and you have to speak and suck his dick, right? Sit in the audience like a little cunt you are, fucking old fart, fucking bitch. So booty claps for the fucking Zionist scumbag. So here's claps for it. Here's the minimum. Here's what he said. The minimum risk that Hamas should have accounted for, and this is an argument I've heard before, the minimum risk they did account for. And what they're talking about is the risk that they did not account for, which is what? It's genocide, which is a risk, when you're doing a risk analysis, is something outside the scope of the operation. It's not something you would account for. No one accounts for genocide when they're planning an operation. This is a fallacy. And so you cannot saying this.
Oh,
so
long.
Hamas saying we don't. Okay, there are things that we did wrong. Or we should have done differently. That's hindsight.
I agree.
That's not them saying we failed.
I agree.
Because they did not fail. It was Israel that failed.
The example that I gave,
maybe
if I were attacking a Zionist entity, right, I should know prior to the resisting that this entity is going to genocide my family, right? So I should know that, and let's say if they do end up genociding my family, and I come out all of a sudden, I'm crying that, I fucked up this and that, you're going to use that against me?
That's the thing. How would you know genocide is even on the table? You wouldn't know that the genocide
Because you're
not on
with
the
a
table.
genocidal regime?
No, have they done this before? No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying, have they done this before? Have they genocided?
Israel has responded disproportionately every single time, and the number of deaths in Gaza have increased year after year, operation after operation. There's never been an attack as big as October 7th, so one could reasonably deduce that if our attack is deciding, then
This was
they're going to respond in a genocidal manner.
It was getting worse. That's what you're saying. The reaction.
It was, yes.
Exactly. So they had
Yes. So you can
Hello?
But to the extent.
you can reasonably
Hello?
deduce that if we on this
Hello?
that the response will be akin to genocide.
No, you can't. You can only deduce what is reasonable.
That is reasonable from a genocidal regime.
No, because it hasn't happened
reasonable
before.
from a genocidal regime.
In insurance terminology, that's called a black swan. It's something that you did not predict.
Believe that Israel was marching.
No, so we're not talking about Israel and Egypt. We're talking about Hamas.
Edward, hold on. Benny Adams' rhetoric is one shy step away from science.
Yes, of course.
Sure, okay, you're dealing with a murderous regime, but the fact it gives the justification to mass slaughter people.
I didn't say it was justified.
Yes, you did. Yes, it did.
No, I didn't. When I justified it.
Your narrative justifies the actions of the Israelis that you
No, it's not. I'm not justifying it.
genocide regime. And if you hope that they're going to get genocided, in what fucking world? In what? That's
You're cutting off.
justification you are giving.
I'm not justifying. No, I'm not justifying. No, I'm not. I'm not saying with no.
I'm just convinced that these guys are massage agents at this point.
So, Benny, have you taken risk analysis at all?
I actually have a long time ago.
Okay, so you know what a black swan is. You know how to do like a risk assessment. I mean, you may not remember exactly, and I don't either, but we know the basic idea, and you account for as many variables
Right. Full repercussions. Yes.
Now, and then you're trying to
it's possible. It's possible for Israel to commit genocide.
Wait a minute. In your risk analysis, okay, you cannot, and you know this from taking the course, you cannot account for all risks.
You try to account for as many risks as you can, as you possibly can. Yes.
Absolutely.
Now, do you think prior to October 7th, do you think that it would be reasonable to assume that Israel would commit a genocide?
No, because genocide is so horrific, you would not assume that Israel put itself in a position that it would literally change the entire narrative of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. You would assume that Israel would come in. You would assume that Israel would
I myself used to talk.
That nobody might make that assumption for a
What are you talking about? What does the United Nations have to do with this? Israel has been ignoring the United Nations. Israel has been ignoring the United Nations since it's been formed.
I know, but as a member of the United Nations, you do not.
Yes, as a member of the United Nations, they have been ignoring UN resolution rules and the Geneva Convention and all kinds of resolutions.
So here's how, Benny.
So it's reasonable to assume that Israel doesn't give a fuck about international law.
Okay,
That's
let's
what
say you're talking about.
Oh, really? You're talking about
disproportionately every time.
The number of deaths have increased.
Yeah. This is correct, right? I agree with you. They have. And then at the same time, they have continued even during, times when Palestinians have not been fighting or peacefully protesting or, things have been calm. They've continued to kill, right? And
but on a much smaller scale.
Right? So we can logically say that Israel will break international law because they have done so, correct? We can reasonably say that, doing an operation on October 7th, what Hamas did, would bring about a stronger reaction from Israel. We can reasonably say this, right?
Actually, not only that, I remember looking into this once. If you look at the proportion of how many, after every time like Hamas attacks or kills anybody or whatever, the way that they respond, the number of people that I'm cooking right now. I wrote you the numbers like 15 minutes ago. Oh, thank you. Yeah. So I think they are proportional in terms of how many people they've killed. So the 70,000 number is probably equal to the proportion historically.
Okay. So would you wait? Hold on. Let's see if it was. Is this measured linearly? Which you are measuring linearly, right? And is when you increase the number of people that you kill, is that risk linear? Because it's not linear.
Even if you graphed it in a linear manner, you would probably get to the number. Yeah. If you graphed it in a linear manner, you would probably get to the numbers.
Yes. Okay. I'll go with that. And
in addition to that, whether it's a genocide or not is not the point. The point is the mass atrocities and the mass number of deaths.
Okay, if you did the same thing, and let's say instead of 1,200, the Palestinians killed 12,000, then linearly, then they would have killed pretty much everybody, all 2 million people, right?
Okay.
That's how you're graphing it, right? So what I'm saying is, okay, but you can't graph linear because as you're going up in numbers of how many, like for Israel, how many people that they're killing, the risk to Israel, politically and diplomatically, and other risks also go up. So it can't be graphed linearly. And Hamas would not have graphed it linearly. They would not have graphed the 70,000 plus killed.
Yes, it is safe to assume that we've never killed this many Israelis before, that this operation is going to be so massive and so groundbreaking that the response from Israel will be equally as massive and groundbreaking.
Yes, but what they've done is
so this is something
so it will be larger.
Yes, this is something you have to take into account in
but not genocide. Not to the point of genocide.
Good. Whether it is genocide or not, it's still a mass atrocity and a huge number of deaths.
You understand the number that Israel kills, the harder it is for them to justify. So it's not linear for Israel as a military force. It's not linear for any military on the planet. They don't make a linear decision when they're in a war.
It's still disproportionate.
I agree.
Yes. Okay. So if you're gonna go in and kill and abduct over 1,000 people, right? And you know also that whatever you do, there is a Hannibal directive, and whatever the Israeli government does will also be blamed on you. This is something to take into account in your risk analysis. That even if you don't kill those people, the Israelis do, you're still gonna get blamed for it. So in the eyes of the Israeli government and the Israeli public, they will want a response proportionate to that.
And what would be Israel's risk analysis? What would be Israel's risk analysis?
Israel's not the one that committed the...
No.
Yeah.
They definitely did a risk analysis as they're going in, in response to this. They did a risk analysis
was ongoing. Yes. They were risk analysis was ongoing. If they could have killed more people, they probably would have.
Well, so the thing is, though, would that be attributed, or I should say, would Hamas understand that Israel would go and kill 70,000 people? Because you can't say 70,000 is equivalent proportionally to
7,000. You can expect there to be tens of thousands of deaths. Yes. I mean, by the way, and it's not only from October 7th. Like, before October 7th, right? I used to talk about how Israel is trying to instigate a global war because in a world war, they are able to, under the cover of everybody being distracted, kill a lot of people and take a lot of land. That's true. That's what I used to talk about before October 7th. So I was already working under the assumption that Israel is willing to and capable of killing a lot of people and taking a lot of land. And that's when the population of Palestinians, I was taking into account the West Bank and Gaza. So yeah, the number was in the millions in my mind. So if I could account for that, I'm sure Hamas can. So you're telling me that every military operation that the resistance does with Israel, we should have accounted for genocide.
Wait, I want to know what that means, Benny. Are you accusing Hamas of wanting to genocide its people? What does that mean? No, I'm not saying that. Then what are you saying?
I'm not saying that they want to do it. I'm saying that they should have recognized. Now listen, I'm not making a value judgment or a judgment call on whether or not it should have been done.
It doesn't dare to say that.
Shut the fuck up. Don't fucking insult me like that. Listen, you cussed my mom in the other fucking room, and I'm not gonna fucking stand for that shit.
Come on now.
Don't fucking cuss my mom like that. Don't fucking call me a bitch like that. We're having a normal fucking conversation. You can't have a fucking conversation. Get the flying fuck out.
Let's have a conversation.
Calm down, Benny.
Okay.
Prince, let's keep it civilized. Prince. I'm like, Prince. Let's keep it civilized.
Not an Arab.
Come on. Oh my God. Okay, hold on. Let's keep it civilized. We're having a good conversation. It's okay. We can have that shouting match, but don't follow that idiot that was in here. What was his name? Benny
Olive.
What was it?
Yeah.
But just don't follow his path. No, we know Benny Olive for a while. It's okay. He's questioning the narrative.
Here's Prince. Here's what you tell me about this. So when you're doing a risk analysis and you're going to assume that the other side is going to kill more
Please check your messages, please.
Now, as the you're doing your analysis, you're going to come to a point when you're going to say, okay, they will not go past this line, or we're not going to we're not thinking of genocide. We're not thinking of they're going to starve and say to the world, we're going to starve the Palestinians, take away their water, medicine, everything. Do the kinds of things that they have done, and the videos that have come out from Gaza of the IDF. I highly doubt that this was in Hamas's risk analysis. These are things that are outside of the scope of the risk analysis.
Predicted a brutal response.
Brutal, right?
But nothing like we've seen. So anybody saying they saw this, I've known Benny Adam before October 7th, and he did not even foresee this. So he's full of shit, and he's
Wasn't I the one talking about how Israel wants to instigate a world war in order to, under that guise, go in, slaughter Palestinians, millions? I used to say millions, and take the land, the West Bank and Gaza. I used to say that.
No.
Shut the fuck up. I did say that. Yes, I did say that.
No,
I said that several times. Yes, I have said that several times.
Other witnesses.
Okay, I'll bring other ask I don't know, baptized. I used to say this to him all the time, and he used to agree with me. Go to him, ask him. I've been saying this for years. And this is not even a difficult analysis to come to. You listen to them. You listen to Kahanists. What they say is, we fucked up in 48. We left 20% of the population. We didn't take all the land. That's what they say.
Yeah, we know all that. But
Okay, so you know that that's what they say. How are they going to rectify that mistake?
No one predicted that the Israelis would defy international law the way they did, defy the world in the way they did, not care about the pocket.
Oh, no one predicted that Israel would defy international law? Really?
No one did. No one predicted that they will.
No one predicted that the most extreme government in Israeli history would follow in the trajectory of not following international law, not allowing the right of return, occupying land, taking land, right, colonizing land, killing people disproportionately, right, blockading Gaza, starving people, putting them on a caloric diet. No one predicted? Really? Why are you lying to yourself?
I'm not.
It wasn't
predicted.
It was planned.
You never said the thing you said.
Stop. Yes, actually, I agree with you on that one.
Everybody was surprised with what the Israelis did October 2nd. Stop it.
Honestly, I wasn't that surprised.
Yeah, okay,
I don't know why, man.
you're the smartest.
I know I'm not. I'm just an observer.
Exactly, that's the problem.
Like, if you can't understand what you're dealing with, then you shouldn't be in a resistance game. I'm sorry. If you don't know the Israelis until now, they occupied you for 75 years. If you don't know what they're capable of until now, then you don't know what the fuck you're doing with your life. You're definitely lost.
Because you
Really? You don't know that these guys are willing to slaughter on a mass scale? You don't know that these guys don't give a flying fuck about international law? Really?
even if they did no, it's not their fault.
I'm not attributing fault.
You are.
Right? That's you jumping to conclusions.
No.
You're jumping to a logical conclusion. I don't deny that. However, that isn't even my argument. That's not what we're arguing about. Right? What we're arguing about is whether or not they could have predicted this within their risk analysis, or assumed this to be a possibility at the very least. And yes, you should have predicted this at the very least as a possibility within your risk analysis.
So Daniel, this is the question for you. If this is true, if what you are saying is true, and they are such a devil people, was there any way to prove it to the international community, to everybody, that these are such a good people?
Yes, just look at their actions.
Are you serious?
You are seeing that in this room, many Palestinians and many other nationalities are saying we were surprised that they did the genocide. So your claim, Jonah and Benny Adam, is that no, it was obvious from before. To us, it was not. So
That's because media has brainwashed people.
no, it's not
It's
about
propaganda. They just normalize dehumanizing Muslims and Arabs in general, which included Palestinians. It's as simple as that. It's propaganda from day one, from before any of us here were born.
Dehumanization is a political act every country does. Actually, you do genocide. That's an act only Nazis do. Happens once in a. That's a very random event that some politicians do not consider a possibility. For example, if I walk outside of my house, I do not expect sun come down on me and my man. That's a very random event. You know what I mean?
You think dehumanization, that's planned, projected, and has been executed for many, many decades now. It's not something that randomly happens. And there are very few powers. There are very few powers over mainstream media, which is why so many of Israel would be doing this. No, it was, but just people didn't know how bad it can be.
Again, you're not getting my hope. Yes, that everybody does it. Most of this colonial system dehumanize. That's how they operate. But genocide is something that normal human beings are not capable of.
Anyone claiming that anybody can predict the genocide in 2023 is full of shit and a liar. Unless the entire globe is in chaos, then genocide can happen. But at times of global peace,
2023, did you say?
Doing a genocide on live television, on Facebook and Instagram is not predictable.
And I don't believe anybody who claims they predicted it. Whether it's called, okay, if you were put yourself in the position of Hamas, right, or an analyst in Hamas, a risk analysis, right, analyst. What do you think? Let's assume that you're going to kill and abduct 1,500 people. Under that assumption, what would you predict Israel's response to be? And the casualties of their response. It wouldn't be linear. It wouldn't be linear. Okay. Based on historical data, based on the fact that Israel is more right-wing today than ever before, based on the fact that the communists are in power, based on the fact that you know Hebrew and Kittit and all that stuff, and you can read their media and you can, see what Ben-Gvir is doing, and you can see what Smotrich is doing, and you can do all of these things. Based on the fact that you have lots of information at your disposal. Based on all of these facts, and the ideological trajectory of Israel, what would you assume, conservatively and liberally, because that's what an assumption. Hold on, Prince, I know I'm putting you in a corner here, but I want you to assume, give me a conservative estimate, and give me a liberal estimate of the number of casualties, right? The number of deaths, the number of displacements, and the loss of infrastructure.
I will give you that.
It wouldn't be linear, Benny Adam. Okay, what would it be? I'm saying it wouldn't be like no, wait, I'm staying out of this. Okay. So then do it however you want to. No. However you want to do it. However you want to do your risk analysis. I agree with you. Conservative estimates. Listen, I agree with you. The number would be large. Okay. And what does that mean? Hold on. What does that mean? Hold on. What I'm saying to you though, where I disagree, is okay if Israel killed 100 people to one Palestinian. One Israeli to 100 Palestinians, right? And if that has been the norm, let's say, then if we, October 7th, if we kill 1,000 of them, and there'll be 100,000 people, right? However, though, it is not a proportional or linear graphing. It's not 1 to 1 because let me just finish. You can answer. I'll be quick. As Israel plans their response out, as more Palestinians would be killed, there would be more resistance to such a thing in Israel, and more resistance from the outside community, from the international community. There'll be more. Also, there'll be more resources taken up by Israel, more money spent. So this is what I'm saying. It's not like you can sit and say, okay, they would have killed 100,000 people. It's not that simple. Right. Okay. So again, I'll ask you the question one more time. You don't have to add it because it's not linear. I didn't say it has to be linear. Oh, then if it's not linear, I didn't say it has to be linear. I'm saying, put yourself in the position of someone in Hamas, right? Doing. You want to win so badly, dude. You're unwilling to acknowledge. You know what? I understand the facts are hard. I understand that the facts are hard. Right? And by the way, I'm not even making a value judgment. I'm not saying that this was a bad call. Not necessarily. Oh yes, I have no honor, no pride, no lineage. You're not a real Arab. You're a real Leonard. You don't belong here. You're fucking Canadian. All that shit. Dude, shut the fuck up. Dude, I don't belong. Benny, I'm not one of us. Yes, I'm not one of you. Yeah. Let's keep it calm. Come on. Let's not trigger Benny Adam. We know he starts shouting. I know. He doesn't hurt when he starts shouting. Wait. I want to understand. What do you mean he's not? Yeah, I don't know. This guy's stupid. No, come on. No, I'm serious. He's just trolling. I'm serious. But he said I'm not Arab. Why? Because I'm Canadian. You're not as serious. Okay, guys. Am I serious? I'm not serious. I have a question. Guys, I don't think I'm going to Syria next month. Stop it. Oh my God. Let's attack the point. We're attacking you personally. Come on, man. Yeah, let's not make him crash. Prince doesn't know how to attack the point. Prince doesn't do that. It's just how would you call him the number? No, my problem with you you is you think you are right. You think you are intelligent. You think you know it all. You don't know shit, dude. Okay, I don't know shit. Fantastic. I don't know shit. But you know what?
You know what it is?
It's not to know shit either.
I think I know what the issue is. I think
you don't know. Nobody knows.
He's getting annoyed because they're reducing a genocide to statistics and numbers. Like, who the fuck cares about the numbers? Whether it's linear, whether it's, who cares? It's a genocide, period, and that's it.
Karnak, sorry, I'm using your old name, Davis. The argument really started where it was the claim was made that, and not by Benny Goy here, but by someone else, that Hamas should have predicted the genocide in their risk analysis. And I'm making the claim that that would be what's considered what's called a black swan, something that you would not
No,
predict.
I understand the black swan, but I mean, do you think someone like Hamas is going to be sitting down on a drafting table calculating the risk assessment?
Yeah, of course, yes, they would.
Yes, they would, absolutely.
Yes, but they would not count on a genocide because that would be outside the scope of the risk profile.
Whether it would be labeled a genocide or not is not the point.
They would count on going after.
It doesn't. Genocides are deemed genocides like decades later. The point is, how many casualties are we expecting? How many deaths are we expecting? How much infrastructure destroyed are we expecting? How many refugees are we expecting? These are the characteristics. I'm sure there's other factors as well, right? However, these would be the 4 basic factors.
Okay, what's Israel's risk tolerance? Benny Adam, what's Israel's risk tolerance for bad publicity? What now? But what was it before October 7th?
Did you know?
Did you know? No. They would hide what they're doing. They don't want other people to
hide when Trump wasn't around. Trump came, nothing was hidden. Things were even then.
Your ownership is 2023 were killed.
So what Benny's basically saying, that using risk analysis, surely one could predict that Israel, especially with like the history and the freaking coming of Trump, who was this figure of flamboyance, this extreme openness with whatever the fuck he was doing, that they would surely they can predict such an outright, such as like a mass killing of people for Palestine. However, I think that I think it was not expected. I think we as a human community didn't think.
And this is Biden in power. It wasn't Trump.
Right. Prior to him.
Yeah, but this happened in 2023.
Right. So I think Trump did put the stepping stone of I can do whatever the fuck I want, and this kind of became this rolling stone that started to collect mass, such that at some point one could predict that a mass killing of a people is very much possible, right? I'm not saying Hamas or any other body should have predicted this, but prediction of such a thing is very much possible. We did not expect to go through with it.
Then you're contradicting him. If you didn't expect it, and then you wouldn't predict it.
You can predict it.
No.
You cannot expect its reality.
No. What you would expect and what a Hamas member would expect would be the same thing.
That would be.
They're the ones living through it. You're the far side.
But also we know
they are living in the shit.
We know how the control that they had. They go to great lengths to have control over the media. They go to great lengths to spin things so that they don't seem as bad. Settlements are neighborhoods, not settlements.
They hide things. They commit atrocities in the process.
But
then they do a 180 after October 7th. They do a 180, and now they're not hiding anything at all. That's
they're still hiding a lot. No. If they weren't hiding anything at all, they would have allowed.
I'll take that statement back. I'll take it back. I'll say.
We don't know the level of atrocities yet, bro.
No, true. But we also would not have expected that Israel would show us so much after October 7th.
Yeah.
So I don't believe, and I'm not
I'm not trying to defend Hamas. I'm just simply saying that I cannot imagine Hamas or anyone in the world putting in the risk analysis if something like this were to happen, that Israel would commit a genocide, would talk about how they are going to starve Palestinians and do it on purpose and go after and kill fucking reporters and hospital workers and destroy most of the hospitals.
They've done all of these things before.
No, at a very small scale.
On a small scale. Okay, yeah, I understand.
They define the pizza.
The larger the scale, the more dangerous it becomes for Israel.
Yes, but but because of October 7th and the scale of that, they then justified that they can do all the things that they have been doing before, but on a bigger scale.
It's just like a game of poker. He's going to bluff and bluff and bluff, and in the end, he's going to go all in eventually. So they just played it like that, like a game.
Like Israel did not do a single thing, by the way, in the last 3 years. They did not do a single thing that they haven't done before. They just do it on a bigger scale.
And the scary thing is that they're just getting started, by the way. This is just
I mean, like in a game of poker, you are not allowed to kill the dealer. That's not
You go all in.
They don't care about international law, man. They don't care about what you're allowed and not allowed to do. They're God's chosen.
But I mean,
They are the dealer, they are the game, they are the cards. They've been just playing it all on their own.
I like what you said though. Well, you're not allowed to kill the dealer. I mean, I know what Benny's trying to say. I understand this. I just don't think that it would be reasonable for anybody to predict Israel's response to this extent. We would predict a response in everyone.
No one addressed my comment on Trump, who started the freaking snowball and started collecting moss at the bend down. He set the freaking standard for shameless, flamboyant.
He doesn't really contribute to it. That's true.
Yeah.
But listen, man, I've said it before. I'll say it again. When I found out about what happened on October 7th, my first reaction was, what the fuck is Israel going to do now? Because that's it. Cards have been lifted. Rules are off the table. They're going to do what I'm saying.
I think that October 7th was premeditated. I mean, they knew about it beforehand.
I believe so.
Yeah, I believe so too, very much. Yeah.
I have a quick question. So, do you think Iran is the last stand between Turkey and Greater Israel?
No, Turkey.
Turkey's next, but that's
Turkey is much harder than Iran.
Iran is the middle path.
Much harder.
If they could even get through with it.
Turkey and Iran in order to accomplish their Greater Israel. Is that a fair statement?
Yes.
Yeah.
Turkey would be the grand finale of them all.
And then if you got done with Turkey and Iran, then Egypt and Saudi Arabia will be fine.
I mean, those are follow-ups. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They haven't even been able to handle I don't know. They haven't been able to even handle Lebanon yet. Forget about Lebanon.
What do you mean?
What do they handle? They've been involved with Lebanon.
Lebanon is destroyed, dude.
What are you talking about?
Hezbollah is still
effectively
yeah, sure.
not giving up on their mountains, I'm sure.
They said it's not giving up on the hills, bro. Look at them.
Guys, you are really
Hezbollah's been destroyed, bro. Come on.
No, I think Hezbollah is going to surprise us, to be honest with you. I have a feeling.
Guys, you really are in La La Land.
It's Edward's risk assessment right now.
Well,
actually, why not?
Well, here's the thing, Davis. White guy Davis. Let me tell you.
Wait. Say something about David. I changed my name. I wanted David.
Change it in the.
Fingers. That's my name is David.
You told us already. You told us.
Change it back to David.
Change it in the alias.
Yeah, people told him that. I told him
I can't. It won't allow me.
So Hezbollah. The problem with Hezbollah is they have weapons that they have shown. They have huge caverns underground filled with missiles that are way more advanced than what
they have WMDs
WMDs as well as WMDs. I just found out. This is only coming from me. I know it. That's how some of the Iranians speak. Only they know what's happening.
Well, factually, though.
There was an Iranian that came in here a couple of days ago.
Factually, I mean, everybody knows that, that Hezbollah has these weapons. I mean, we've seen videos of that, them driving trucks.
Oh, what are you talking about?
They have hundreds of thousands of missiles.
Hey, Judy, how you doing today? Let's talk to Judy.
I like their
Please no cursing. Judy, please. Prince and other people, please no cursing. Judy, you're welcome to come up. I do have some questions.
Buttercup is lying. I did not curse.
Yeah, I do not. I do have some questions for you if you come up, and I'll make sure nobody attacks you or nothing. We're just gonna have this conversation back and forth.
Don't worry, I will spread some love in the room.
Yeah, hope you're doing good, Judy, and it's a weekend. And I think Buttercup is going to follow you. She's going to come right in. As soon as you come up, Buttercup probably wants to come up as well. But I think I have to keep the Buttercup down in the audience because she keeps coming and, she wants to come in the middle and try to derail the topic.
So, Edward, do you really think, Hezbollah would have, some sort of...
Hezbollah?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just have a feeling. I don't have any facts. What happened to all these weapons in these underground cities?
Oh, hold on. Let's
We don't know. That's the thing. And Hezbollah has gone along with this narrative a little too easily. In my opinion.
React to it. Would you like not?
We have to figure we're weakened. We're severely weakened, and I don't know. I don't feel like Arabs.
Right, but do you not associate it with coming down on Nasrallah though?
No, Nasrallah was just a figurehead. That's all he was at this point.
No.
He wasn't anything more than that.
Nasrallah was the leader for over.
Are you kidding me?
I know, but he took over, from his previous predecessor that was assassinated.
Nasrallah didn't last so very long. I thought Nasrallah, Hezbollah became a cult of personality there, wrong?
Yes.
Okay. When you talk about the brand, the image, that's a different story. I'm only talking about the military. I'm saying the military itself, all these weapons are still there. So that gives me pause. I'm not going to...
I don't know where
you're underground. You're underground.
So
I wouldn't say...
Last time they killed the Hezbollah leader before Nasrallah, that was much more logical leader. So this leader of Hezbollah for sure is much more leader. Before Nasrallah, the leader of Hezbollah was much more rational and reasonable than Nasrallah. So when they killed that mob,
the old leader, how long did he stick around? Like a year?
Yeah.
2 years max.
Yeah. Nasrallah did do a lot.
I just want to give you guys a heads up. Payman in the audience, he's an Iranian. He's a Reza Pahlavi supporter. He records my rooms. So if you guys need some sort of a clip, you can, approach him. He has a whole bunch of clips of my rooms. I live rent-free in his fucking head. He got moved down one time, and he's so sensitive. Some of the Iranians are very fucking sensitive. They get triggered, they don't want to come back up. Payman, come up. Otherwise, you're welcome to get lost out of the room.
And Judy, if you want to come up, is Judy still here?
Judy, you're welcome to come up. Let's have that conversation.
No one will ask you. Everybody will stay quiet.
She's not in the room anymore.
No, she left. Okay. Buttercup is sitting in the audience with the anonymous account. Is that you, Buttercup? Somebody is.
So what are you what's your prediction though? Risk analysis
On Hezbollah, I don't know. I just feel like they're laying a fence, like there's something going on there that, because they're in coordination with the other resistance groups, so I don't know. And they take orders from Iran too, so I don't know. I just know that all these very sophisticated weapons and drones have not been used, but they are, and they were underground. We know Israel cannot reach them that far deep underground. We know this from Gaza. So that's the big question. They have all these weapons, and what happened to all the people? How
many people did Hezbollah have in Lebanon? Over 50,000, right?
How come they're muted now, though? They haven't. There's no response.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't make sense.
Don't you think the Hezbollah might have experienced a kind of turning back on them from Iran in some sense, because Nasrallah's end didn't seem to be that much of a dramatic event, or even or they didn't achieve any responsiveness from Iran? Or do you think they're working behind the curtains with each other?
I still think they're working together. I think Iran is working with all these proxies.
There was a recent shipment of weapons. I don't know if you guys heard about it. I think Ghost told me about it about a month ago. 4,000 weapons came to Syria and to the hands of Hezbollah, whatever. I don't know. The Syrians, they're easy to bribe. Anyway, it's easy to bribe, right?
Well, Syria is a large territory.
Yeah, there's a lot of corruption in the Levant. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's a large territory, and you can get from Iran to Lebanon fairly easily. Because of the terrain, because of the government doesn't have full control over the entirety of the country, from would it be north to south or east to west, from top to bottom. When it, the top of the Iranian border or Turkish border down. I don't know. It's not a well. I shouldn't say well. The Syrian government doesn't have the resources to control its borders completely.
Well, I'm asked.
Sorry, what was the question earlier?
Why do you honestly think Hezbollah still, has it?
So I see the logic is this: that we know that there are hundreds of thousands of missiles. I mean, these are Israeli facts. Second, we know that they are not giving them up. Third, I think we can assume they are not gonna sign a deal with Israel without Iranian permission. So put these three things together, and you know that they are as dangerous as ever. It's just that they are right now, for some reason, laying low.
Because the entire storyline will change with this.
But they also deal with Lebanese politics. They also have to consider Lebanon too.
That doesn't matter if you're powerful and if they'll handle that. They've done it for whatever years. Why I'm asking you this is because the entire storyline is going to change. Because you actually have a freaking very powerful, strong, hidden enemy who's going to combat if you're giving Hezbollah that kind of leverage.
Yeah,
I don't know. That's the whole point.
I don't have answers to these questions.
None of these proxies have gone anywhere. They're just laying low.
Yeah, that's what I've been
Nothing.
But the Iraqi one has what are they called? I forgot what they're called.
Houthis are full control, and Iraq.
I've always told you guys, don't underestimate the Houthis.
Well, the Houthis is one, but the Iraqi resistance has been building up forces and training and weaponry, and that's going straight across from the Iranian border to Iraq.
So if you really want to understand from a poker standpoint, Iran is just playing blind now. Just folding all the hands. I mean, I don't know why, but they're not playing. So they're just imagine.
They have internal issues, and that's why. When you have internal issues and you've forced enough,
they're waiting for something else.
They're waiting for a savior.
No, I mean, if you have.
But they've always done this, Iran.
Where people.
They've always been methodical.
No, think about poker.
It's not methodical anymore. It's blind hand.
You let everybody kill each other, and then one opponent left, then you start playing. That's also possible.
They've resigned.
If you have enough cash in hand, you just play blind. Every time you just fold all of them.
They're whatever.
I think an attack from Israel, Iran would see it as that would be the best thing for Iran and the government.
Yeah, Israel's not going to do that.
Israel, there was some leaks there, some talk about Israel.
Iran is waiting for this October 7th
Yeah, they're not going to
finish. So once Israel goes out of table, it's only Iran and US. Then they
So either negotiation. Don't forget China supporting Iran. They sent 16 cargo planes with military support.
No, see, everything is on hold for this drama in Middle East to just shut down. So when Israel accept that it's over, they have lost the war, they have achieved nothing, and they become quiet. Whenever you hear nothing from this Bibi Netanyahu, you can see Bibi Netanyahu was not part of that, so he's going to prison. So once he's in prison and everything is calmed down, that part of it, Iran will start praying. Up to that time, I don't know when that will be, but it's probably close because Netanyahu is going to prison. You saw that.
He's not going to prison. He's not going to prison.
He was not part of that, so.
No, but you're not getting, so in the Knesset, they're in the process of passing a law where, he can get away with it and still resign or leave. So it's then the first stage. So there's I think it goes through 3 different stages. It has to be approved 3 times or something. That's some stupid bullshit policy they have. Once it gets approved, by these 2 other parties or whatever, they will have the bill where, he can resign and he doesn't have to accept the guilt. But, with Herzog, the president of Israel, he says he's going to have to accept the guilt, then I can pardon it. So he did promise to pardon. So if he pardons, by him accepting the guilt, all that's going to do is he's just no longer going to be able to be a prime minister. That's about it.
He will be neutralized.
Yeah, but he's not going to go to jail. But they're all psychopaths. They're all death title.
He only still one watch, right? The bribe that he got. So if you go to prison, it's probably for 1 day. Nobody cares about that. The point is that you'll be neutralized. You will be out of Israel politics. He's the actual face of devil. He's the only person who can unite all these crazy maniacs into one force. When he's out, then Israel will turn left because nobody can unite these crazy people.
That's not true, man. They're all psychopaths. Even the leftists are psychopaths.
I know, but somebody should unite psychopaths. And that's
no, they will unite because there's a coalition. I think they're working together. It's just a matter of time. If Netanyahu was to go out, I think then who was it? Was he Yaakov that was telling me it's up to the coalition or somebody to pick out the leader, and they're going to pick up people like Ben Gavir or Smotrich or something. Some pieces of shit. If that happens, the West Bank is gone. West Bank is fully gone.
So that's again an analysis, but I don't think because whenever Netanyahu is not there, they cannot create coalition. He is really literally the asshole of the party. He doesn't have any moral value. The other ones have moral value. People who have moral value, they cannot really unite with each other.
That's why in the military you have to be extreme.
I shouldn't say moral value, because those Ben Gavir, I don't consider their values as moral, but they do have some value. People who believe in something, normally they cannot, get united with other people who believe in something. So you need somebody which doesn't believe in anything to unite these people. And that is the role that this Bibi Netanyahu plays. And once he's out, one is neutralized. So basically you will have Israel as a country which cannot form government. It goes to a cycle of 2-3 prime ministers per year. Something that we are seeing right now. England is in that crisis. They cannot have any government which lasts more than a year. And that is when your country is neutral.
Quiet
You don't have to neutralize a
doing
country.
nothing at all.
You need to neutralize a leader.
The Jedi are no longer what they once were.
Just because you neutralize a leader doesn't mean you neutralize a country. Some other puppet is placed.
Still,
And it's
patience while
So,
the galaxy
is he going to prison? I don't think so. I mean, so.
have I weighed this
But
decision.
will he be quiet and
Longer still have I waited for change. My place here ends
Really,
where
I
exactly
don't
you will not. I seek only to
She doesn't
serve
go
the
to
galaxy,
prison.
to pursue a
You have
cause that
like crazy
restores
people
what
like
is
Hitler.
necessitated to
Actually,
defend.
gets it together, Vishwana. This is what I'm saying.
Force grant us
No, they cannot. That's
They can.
Why? They cannot.
Why?
You don't see how these like things work. There is a talent that he has that he can unite, right? The right wing of Israel. They don't have anybody else. This is why he has been there, and this is why this is happening. You are assuming there is a conspiracy theory that there are like these like dark room people and all these figureheads. They are just puppets. No, they are not. He has a talent.
He's very influential. I'm not even like reducing them. I'm saying necessarily he gets neutralized because of the war crimes, or what they're calling war crimes.
No, those are international. It has to be internal. The only way that it can get neutralized is from inside Israel, inside politics. If they find something that you are a criminal now, you cannot be prime minister. If you promise that you don't become prime minister, get that fuck out of politics.
I'm saying that's what's going on.
Yeah, I think that seems that that's what's happening. And once that happens, then this Israel thing will calm down, right? And nobody talks about Israel. And at that moment, then you will see like Iran start playing. That was like right now, everybody in the area is laying low for that to happen.
So I ask you,
Iran has internal issues to deal with. I think you're discounting that fully.
No, Iran really doesn't have an internal shenanigans.
Yeah, man.
That's the hype. No. Trust me,
I don't trust you.
If Iran had an internal issue, they would not at this moment lift subsidies. So they have been waiting for 47 years to lift these subsidies. They did not bear. If they had internal issue, they would not. They knew exactly this would happen. The timing is completely sure. They're confident nothing happens. Otherwise, are they crazy? Like at this moment, they lift the subsidies to people. You know why this whole thing started, right?
I think the bazaar, it was the whole.
No, the Iranian government passed a law that the dollar, from now on, there's one price. Before that, dollar had different prices. For example, if you wanted to go buy food,
Yeah, I know that.
the dollar was one price. If you wanted to go travel, so the Iranian government said, fuck you all, dollar from now on is one price. And that is the market price. That was the cause of all these things. What it means is literally a bunch of corrupt people in Iran. They were getting rich by dollar. Different, because if dollar have different price, that means corruption. Right? For 47 years they have been trying to make this happen. They didn't dare. Why should they do it now? Completely shows they're very confident they don't have an internal problem. They can handle it.
would he not be a powerful ally to us?
Yeah, but it's just soon that does it. This is the problem. This is why I find that to be evil.
What do you mean chiseled down?
They did manipulate it before the subsidies.
Continued existence risks exposing the
Manipulate what?
of our ascension.
Manipulated the currency before subsidizing it, right?
I understand, Master.
See, this is how it used to work. So they, like the central bank of Iran, gets some dollars. Then that dollars it will give it to some other people to certain things in the country. Central bank and government doesn't manipulate. Those people manipulate.
See to it that.
So now those people are out of picture. There is no middleman. Dollar directly goes from the central bank to the people of Iran. They are like cards. They call
They
it.
couldn't do this earlier, Rayfan?
No, they couldn't. They're scared because this means prices will go to the sky, and the prices are going to the sky in Iran right now. Like the gas goes from 5 cents per gallon, $3 per gallon.
I remember like my uncle would just fill up gas and just drive away.
I mean, there is an activity called Dordori. I haven't seen it anywhere in the world. That this is a fun activity. Let's go Dordori. Like you just go drive around. Gas is literally free.
Yeah.
Dordori, they go to Jordan doing Dordori. Like for example, from 5 o'clock in the afternoon. That's why Tehran is locked. People after work, this is their hobby. They go drive in the street. What the fuck?
My grandmother goes to my daddy.
I have seen that.
Yeah, because of gas. Like I remember he would just fill gas and just drive away. It was like the norm.
It's free.
No one was paying shit. It was free. Yeah, so petrol was petrol was free. Gas in all homes are still free.
Water is free.
Water is free. Electricity is free. Phones are free.
What the fuck?
Yeah, everything was free. I remember the water was so crystal clear. Even the water in the tubes, so clean. Have you been there lately?
I mean, my uncle's wife, literally, I saw it with my own eye. To save the dishwasher liquid, she would put hot water, just run on the dishes for 1 hour. So she saves money on the dishwasher. This is what she did. I saw it with my own eye. This is,
Anyway, it's fully so even that's normal for you.
no, this one's pretty much.
We got Mark here. What's up, Mark? Mark, what do you think the plan is? You think Israel is going to attack Iran? Because now Trump gave him the green light if the deal doesn't happen with Iran. What do you think about that then? Mark?
Sorry, can you ask one more time? I missed it.
I said Trump gave him a green light to Netanyahu. If the deal doesn't happen between Iran or America, that Israel can do the attack on Iran. Do you think it will actually do it?
Yeah, I do.
So he just wants to attack. That's about it. Okay. He just needs a new front to keep the people busy.
No, I'm saying that, I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm just saying that if he gives the right to do it, and then Trump, I'm sorry, let me start again. I got distracted. Trump has been consistent, rightly or wrongly, that he doesn't like to be shown up or proven a liar when it comes to international diplomacy. So if he's given someone the right to do it, if a deal isn't made and the deal isn't made, then yeah, I expect that it will happen. And it might even be, orchestrated by Trump, to be honest, because Trump doesn't like to be shown up. So if he kind of gives an ultimatum and the ultimatum doesn't meet, then he does it. I mean, that's what happened with Maduro, right? That seemed like a pretty drastic maneuver by all accounts, but Trump sucks so as well. We gave him an ultimatum, so he should have seen it coming. So I don't know why I'd be an idiot for a message.
Do you believe in the genocide? I don't think you believe in genocide, right? So do you believe in the genocide on Hamas?
Really, I do. I know it's not a very popular position in this room, but I think if you look at, pictures of what was considered an open-air prison, you refer to a lot Palestine pre-October 7th, and you look at Palestine now and Gaza now, I would still argue the open-air prison was better than the situation where Gaza finds itself in now, and I would imagine that the difference there can be attributed directly to the Hamas attacks, so.
Hold on, though. Are you saying there is a genocide or there is not a genocide?
I'm not even commenting on it. I'm just looking at the photos. Look at the photos of Gaza on October 5th.
Do you have
Gaza on October 8th.
Yeah. Is there a genocide in your opinion or not?
No, I don't think there is. But that's not even neither here or there. It's just a question of photographic.
It is here nor there. Like, we can't just be kind of numb to genocide. It's the year 2026.
respectfully still argue that that is what has happened. Now, you are free to disagree with that, of course, but I think that going back to an earlier discussion about, no one could have calculated for genocide, which was a long conversation that happened about an hour ago. I don't think that was in Israel's mindset either. I don't think Israel's mindset was genocide. Israel's mindset was self-defense. So when you're doing your risk analysis, self-defense, I think, is something you can anticipate. Whether it stretches into something like genocide, which I know is a Palestinian approach. I mean, obviously, if Israel thought it was genocide, then yeah, maybe it's a difficult thing to analyze, but they don't. So because they don't think it's genocide, then it should have been factored into the risk analysis that a targeted attack on Gaza would take place. And
you said something earlier in your sentence, which I'm going to challenge you on. You said, Israel made it clear that it was on Hamas. Why am I able to pull up so many quotes from senior Israeli officials, including the president, that actually imply there's things like no uninvolved civilians, like the general population is guilty, like they're comfortable with denying food, electricity, and water. Why are there various reports directly from Israeli officials saying that one of the ideas is to make Gaza uninhabitable so that the Palestinians don't return? Why was there public support by Netanyahu at one point to actually remove and relocate 2 million Gazans? So that's really unclear, actually, that it's about Hamas. It seems like it's, by Israel's own admission, it's about more than Hamas. How do I reconcile all of this in my head, and how do you reconcile that in your head?
I reconcile it pretty easily. I think that were they moving those people prior to October 7th? No. Were they moving it after October 7th? Yes. What happened on that day? Hamas came in and frankly did a lot of it. The Palestinians, a lot of them didn't know about this. So I don't understand why there's, I've mentioned this in this room before, I don't understand why there's not a gigantic swathe of people within Palestine who are irate and pissed, because frankly, if this hadn't happened unilaterally by Hamas, their lives would be a lot better. So that's something that's confused me, but to reconcile it is pretty simple. If those things were happening on October 5th, and they were not mentioned as a direct response to what happened on October 7th.
Najes! Better be careful, Najes. You're gonna get picked up by the FBI, Najes. You're gonna get arrested. Gotta be on the right side of history, Najes. Gotta be on the side of good. Dr. Good now. Gotta fight Dr. Bad. Dr. Good's gotta win against Dr. Bad. We can't let Dr. Bad get away with this shit. What do you mean, why am I streaming? I'm sending it to Cash Patel and Pam Bondi, of course. Because they really care about this shit, obviously. Bull Rush.
It's interesting, like, how rooms have completely different political views. Like, this, and different loyalties, I guess.
Well, listen, if
Power Rush,
Power Rush, Bull Rush,
Do you
Narcissus.
see that? Am I the only one who's seeing that?
What?
Like, the loyalties is complete. Like, rooms will differ politically, and it's interesting you're streaming this one, because you'll find another room just bang opposite this that holds a completely different view to this, although the events are the same.
Well, have you seen the videos from October 7th and all the innocent people who were killed and all the injured people?
Yeah.
It's so bad that I saw a video of a girl who had like shrapnel all through her legs, and she was like holed up in like a building, and they were just all in shock, and they knew that like at any moment holy shit, you just can't believe. When you see all these dead bodies all around the place, you're like, I just can't believe this is real. Like, what are we doing? But the thing is, like, these are pirates. The people that did October 7th are nothing more than pirates. And, governments have been waging wars against pirates forever. It's like cops and robbers. But I don't. I would fight an Islamic jihadist, to the death to stay alive. If they're coming to kill me for political reasons, like they did on October 7th at Supernova, like those innocent people were partying to try to get peace, and then they were all slaughtered by the people that they were trying to get peace with. How fucked up is that?
That's what I'm saying. The other, and then you'll have a view that will not support you, or another that will not support either or. Like, trying to see how subjective politics is.
Well, I think the good thing about being an American is like we are like the big third party. We're the huge elephant. And these are just like parasites fighting each other and sucking off of us. And the truth is, like, we kind of get to say what happens. And because it doesn't matter which side of the fences you are over there, like, they're extremely aggressive. Everybody is. Like, they're polarized. And it's just crazy. Regal, welcome to Call the FBI in Los Angeles and report Amir the terrorist. How are you doing? And Nora, welcome to the room. Nora wants to run away quickly.
Yeah, thanks. Nothing but gumdrops and ice cream here. How are you?
Gumdrop?
Point of moderation, moderator, point of order, moderator.
Yeah, moderator, point of order, moderator. I'm good. I'm about to hop in a hot bath. I wanted to read some poetry, because most people, like, Narjas, do you think you have mental health problems?
Yeah, I think sometimes I spiral down, but I come up quick.
Well, it's not.
I have no choice.
Meaning,
I
like,
spiral down every now and then, like, just analyzing life and shit like that. And then I'll bounce back quick. I have no choice. I have to bounce back up.
Well, I mean, I was outside in nature today in the sun and jogging and,
exactly.
grounding myself. And,
I
like,
go for long walks and I just meet my friends. I go out. I bounce back pretty quickly. I don't like the feeling of feeling down at all.
yeah, I haven't felt depressed in quite a while. I mean, it's liberating to say what you think and feel what you say. And when I just hear people wasting all their time, especially the crash outs, like if you listen to Amir screaming, like to me, that's like crazy. That's like actually what crazy people do is they scream and scream and scream and scream and get angry and angry and angrier and angrier. And it's like, to what end? Like, do you have any idea how, like, why are you treating your body like that? To me, that's like, unless you're doing it for performative reasons.
I think it's performative. I think a lot of stuff on Clubhouse is just performative, and does come from like that too is mental health issue that people have. I think the need to perform in order to be heard, or just theatrics. It's pageantry.
Yeah, but you've heard me read from books, like that's performative. But when people are sitting here under fake identities in unrecorded rooms creating essentially like Jew hate content to like hate the Jews and not be specific, but do generalizations and bigotry stereotypes and not be a part of an actual peace movement, like play some drums and like let's sing a song or meditate or read something, but stop creating hornets nests that get kicked over. Like that's what they're doing. They're not building anything beautiful or peaceful. So, that's why I say like call the FBI and report Amir the terrorist in Los Angeles who runs his car rental business and have him just, arrested and locked up and put into jail for maybe 10 years to chill out.
He doesn't have the right to
just
express
relax.
his views. Are you saying like he doesn't have the right to express his views or to like pick a political side?
Sure.
Is that what you're saying?
Sure, but I've got the right to report him to the FBI. That's my right as an American. No, it is. That's my freedom of speech. If I think
anything, right? Like
see, this is political. This is political. He wants to play politics, and I'll play politics the way I want to play politics. He can't police me by listen. He has kicked me from so many rooms. He won't give me freedom of speech. So I'll just record him and report him to the FBI, and I'll be done with it. Like it's not going to stress me out. It should stress him out.
And look at Judy here. Judy
Like,
create.
surely you know that like Buttercup's rooms are not Jew hating, right? Like, I don't know
Oh
what you think.
really?
I don't think so. No.
Well, see,
What do you
Narja's.
think?
Well, it doesn't matter what I think because all I want to do is record, set it, and forget it, and let other people decide. I don't want to see. This is the problem, Narja's. I don't even want to entertain questions. Do you know that? Like, I don't want to be a part of this social network. I just want to record it and let the world decide, and let lawyers decide, and let FBI analysts decide. I can't make any decisions. I'm just a citizen recording what I consider to be extremely problematic conversations because you are witnessing in real time people create nonstop hate speech. This is not nonstop peace speech and nonstop meditation or music. It's just nonstop political hate speech. That's what it is. So I've reported Amir to the Los Angeles FBI field department, and they're gonna go investigate him and check out all his cars and run his taxes and see if he's been paying his taxes and check out his immigration. And if there's any problems, Kash Patel, our Hindu, Dindu FBI director, is gonna fly to Los Angeles and just arrest Amir, and then he's gonna be on Clubhouse and he's like, "Hold on a minute, guys, I got a fucking door. Knock at my fucking door." He's gonna go to the front door and they're gonna be like, "FBI, open up, hands in the air where we can see him." And Amir's gonna be like, "Oh my god, that fucking John Kitover, he fucking called the FBI on me, and they're at my fucking door. And the Clubhouse, save me!" That's what that will be Amir's last words on Clubhouse. Will be Clubhouse members, save me. If you're part of the World Affairs Forum, and you're interested in modern day political conversations and debates. Anyways, the response, Narj, is it. See, the thing is, you think I'm over the top, but I'm not. I'm literally mirroring. I'm a mirror. You know me well. Like, if people want to be aggressive and psychotic with me, well, I'll be aggressive and psychotic with you, and we'll see how far it goes in the ether. Like, you can't push me around on my cell phones, but I can record you. And if you're willing to come in a public space and be recorded, because they're in the audience in the Anon recording you and reporting you. It's not a John Kitover problem. That's a you problem. Hello?
So, like, today was interesting. Like, in her room, you see, like, someone pointed out something like in great hyperbole, right? That this genocide is far more intense than some other genocide, for example. And then, like, he created that shock value. And then someone who opposed him said, well, this is not good for the benefit of, like, the collective. What you're doing here is, like, you're promoting some kind of hate that keeps, like, standing or making a dam in front of, like, success. Like, there's no progress here, another said. So, and both these people hold the same political view, but their approaches towards, like, success were different. One wanted to continue with the hate, the other wanted to sort of see progress from here. So you'll also find that in, like, political room setups, I think. So it's so varied. It's so varied. It's so expansive. The spectrum is so wide. How, like, politics can be behaved like on this app, at least.
I don't know. Narja, is when these people start reading books to me, then I'll know everything is okay. Until then, I hate to tell you, like, that's what's up. You are hearing people project their homicidal and psychotic ideation on this app all the time. They're not reading books. Read me a book about intelligence, love, and peace, and then we'll have something to talk about. Otherwise, I'm going to arm myself. I'm going to record you. I'm going to report you. And I'm going to fight you because I don't think you have my best interests in heart because you don't even read to make peace. All you do, not you in particular, people on this app, like, this is a political game and, this is how I play it. Hello?
So Narges, when when do you think you know, a baby you know, do you, like for pro-life, like when a baby is born, is it when the baby takes its first breath? Is it like 6 months into the pregnancy, 3 months into the pregnancy? When is a baby alive and a human? And when you kill it in an abortion, when is it like murder versus when is it, you know, medical?
I think it's through the fourth month, third, end of third, beginning of fourth. John, it pretty much communicates with you. Seeing this as a mother, so
Mm-hmm.
it's an aliveness within you. Now, is it my freaking placebo mind that is perceiving it as such, or does the child have, is that a real child with a life growing, etc.? I think it could be both. But for me, personally, subjectively, I'd say like 3 to 4 months. It's basically commencing
Yeah.
its life on Earth.
Well, it's, you know, a reasonable answer. But I mean, see, the thing about specifics is 3 to 4 months, like, is what about when you're, see, this is like the difference between a C plus and a B minus. You know, like if you're at 2 months and 25 days and you're almost 5 days to that 3 months, well, you're so close, Narges. So that's my point is it's really all or nothing when it comes to deciding to decapitate, whether it's 2 months or 4 months or 6 months. There's no significant difference. So my complaint about Palestine and the war is if you're going to scream about babies and genocide and occupation nonstop, but you're a pro-abortionist, well, then you already endorse murder and killing. But you endorse it medically. You don't endorse it politically. So my point is, Narges, is there's just a lot of stupid people on here that haven't figured out poetry and music and depoliticization by being political, by being poetic. So there's just a lot of fucking people here are trying to make it into a career, and you know that's what it is. But it's not really artistic enough, in my opinion, and therefore they will never succeed in what they're doing. And it's more of a mental health crisis and a lack of creativity, which is what people are suffering from here. You can call it
You're
boredom.
forgetting the variables. You're forgetting the particulars variables. I think those grays too must be considered, like nuances within it.
People like to use the word
Like for
nuance
example, someone
all
who
the
gets
time.
raped, right? That's what I'm saying. Like John, someone who gets raped, for example,
Mhm.
or an oops baby, right? Where like the couple has just not taken care enough. After a drunk party, you get jiggy with it, blah blah. I mean, that is harmful to the child in some ways. So I can see why, like a woman would find that to be the most rational decision of her life, so as to protect not just herself but the child too from bringing it to the world. So these are the freaking variables that I also consider and I'm empathetic about, which like probably pro-life people would like find horrendous.
Well, my point is if you are pro-abortion and you're an atheist and you're a liberal Democrat socialist and you're a scientist, that's the problem because it's deicide. If it takes a whole universe to make a baby, that means every baby you kill in utero is like executing Jesus over again on the cross. So if we were to tackle the problem of human conflict at the root, it would be, you know, the fact that we have industrialized abortion and we have industrialized the military industrial complex. So it's just an overall killing field. And, you know, that's what it is today. Whether you get vaccinated or decapitated. You know, a vaccine death is actually just a late term abortion. And war is just a late term abortion. So, you know, welcome to the abortion industrial complex. From uterus to battlefield to urban warfare, it's all just a late term abortion. And then you have all these people on here who can't shut up and just want to talk over each other and get their little dopamine rushes in their pathetic little apartments and scream genocide, occupation, but they're not screaming obey the law, come into compliance, obey the law, study the law, know the law, be smart about the law. Sometimes you'll hear them say that, but not often. Mostly it's just like political jingoisms and propaganda. And, that's cool, but I hope people don't get angry at me when I record them and send it to the FBI for some FBI analyst,
It happens on both sides if you want to be objective about it and fair.
Mhm.
And I mean, there are amongst us humans those who are humanitarian who'll call out for just the act of it being wrong in humanity, like adding moral value to episodes that are happen, the events that are taking place. So I would say it is as wrong as to kill like one human, innocent human, unjustly, no matter what the criteria, right? That or whatever, or 1 million population. So do you not see where these people are coming from?
Well, I look at it from the perspective of me and my survival. If you're going to kill me, I hope to kill you first. And every soldier that, you listened to me read a lot yesterday about a martyr's death. Do you remember that part? You were sending me the cry emojis.
Yeah, that was really nice. Very well.
So I see the truth on both sides. I mean, I can actually, if I use my imagination enough, I can view myself, on the other side of the fence, fighting for survival over there. They encountered a Leviathan, and I don't. They're sitting here on Clown House talking about risk analysis, and they're like, "You don't think that the Hamas leadership ran on a risk analysis prior to October?" It's like, no, I don't think they did. And they're like, "Of course they did." And there are professional soldiers, that work in the Russian government, the American government, the Iranian government, who have been studying warfare and trying to gather as much information as possible about how to run a war and how to fight, with intelligence. And I've got countless books, field manuals that soldiers from every war have spent their time writing after they engaged in a war. And guess what? Young officers study these field manuals so they know how to survive the war and, get the political outcome and the victory that they want to achieve. So I'm just saying that these rooms are pointless, and the Free Palestine rooms are nothing more than Barth and Daniel running the same script every single time. And I called him out on it today, and Daniel's like, "You're a fucking loser. You're like a disabled fucking veteran. Fuck you." Like, I've seen Daniel Nero's photo. He's disgusting. He looks like he just came out of a catacomb tomb. Like he's like his liver and his skin is yellow and he's all dusty and nasty and he's like hugging that older guy, and I'm like, bro, go to the gym, take a shower. Don't criticize me. You and Barth are crazy. Barth is sitting there working, putting nails in 2x4s, and Daniel is sitting in his apartment, and they're sitting there just having like being cats with these Muslim balls, and they're just sitting there playing with these Muslim balls all day long. And I'm like, to what end, guys? Like, try to create something that lasts a little bit, at least for more than a few hours, and then disappears. Like, do some, hard.
I mean, you're a guy that talks about poetry. I mean, you don't think it's poetic in some way that people can find solidarity and like something like that? Like these people are my plaything. Jump on here for a day. Here's my buddy Danielle. I'm Megatron. And this is what we're doing, and we find solidarity in doing that, and it passes the time. I mean, I don't know them personally. I don't know. Like, you don't think that's poetic in a way?
It's a need for human communication, and that there is
Right, exactly. And I mean, is there something inherently wrong with that?
No, there's not. But you got to understand, my point is that it's still within my opportunity, right, or decision to criticize it and critique it, to film it and record it. But if somebody wants to attack me in the brief moment that they have to talk to
Well,
me.
I would ask you, like, why are you doing that?
Because it's artwork.
Are you making money doing it?
Do artists do all artwork to make money, or do some artists do art to make art? Isn't that the
not at
point?
all,
We
but
just
I
have.
mean, like, so you're an artist. I mean, what is this, like performance art or something?
It's video art. I'm a video artist. I have hundreds of thousands of videos up on the internet.
Okay,
It's conditioning. It's conditioning and suggestion. If you just Google John Kitover.
I mean, are you planning on taking this and like chopping it up and making like an Aqua Teen, Hunger Force type of like cheap illustrated cartoon to like throw some adult humor in there or something? Is it like that, or is it just I just record you and then just put it on the internet?
That would be considered art. Yeah, I would love that art. That would be great for me.
Well, hang on, John. Hang on.
Go ahead,
the
Dennis.
thing is, all communication is hypnosis. Rico, the sooner that you realize that, the better off you'll be.
Wow. How has that statement changed your life in the few years that you've known me, Dennis?
It has profoundly made a positive impact in the way that I view the world and communicate with others, not only in my personal life, but my professional life. Coach John, through thick and thin, has been an excellent source of guidance and wisdom. And
who's Coach John?
Me. He calls me Coach John. But look at his PTR. I was laughing that I was looking at that PTR. That's so fucking funny. That would be cool. That would be a lot of fun to try. Anyways, Regal, back to the artwork. The point is, you're just a critic. You know, until you can tell me your legal name and say, hey, check out my artwork, you know, then we could talk. But you're just not on my level, Regal. And I hope you know that I'm just a fisherman and I'm a spider. And you're just my fly or my fish.
I mean, I don't typically come on here and tell people that like I know how to paint. I actually have paintings in my phone. I can put one up as my PTR. I also play music. But I don't feel the need to sit there and say, well, I'm extremely distinguished between the average person here on Clubhouse because, you know, I feel the need to compare myself to other people.
The Regal, that's part of the joke. That's part of the joke that people see. Didn't you just hear what Dennis said, that all communication is hypnosis? So if I'm insulting to people,
me saying that all communication is like spell casting, and I can cast a spell on you with my words and control you. That's not true.
No, that is true. If I were to insult you right now, or if you were to go into a room and you were to hear other people insulting each other, some people's feelings get hurt.
Do you know what begging the question is?
Yeah.
Okay, that's just begging the question.
Okay. Well, all communication is conditioning, and all communication is projection. And so when you say, do you know what begging the question is? That's literally saying, that's begging the question.
Before you further along yourself here, right, I'm just going to ask you, how do you know that?
Well, let me ask you this. You're not a moderator.
So now
go ahead.
A tu quoque, right? So that's a tu quoque.
A tu quoque.
Now that's part of the other reason why I do get on here on occasion. It's not to distinguish myself or to be better than other people or to prove how much of a musician I am or am not. On occasion, I like to test my knowledge. I like to compare ideas, and I like to listen to people.
I'm gonna give you 60 seconds, Regal. Go ahead.
I'm back to you.
Okay, I'm gonna give you 60 seconds. I hope we can go in 60-second intervals here. Narges, Dennis, is there anything else you'd like to contribute to call the FBI in Los Angeles report Amir the terrorist?
I think he has a freedom of expression. That's what he's going to come back with. Like, I can criticize things that are happening around the world because I'm allowed to. I'm an American, and therefore I can. So that would be his comeback.
So I would just like to maybe prove a point. You know, Regal, do you suffer from any mental health issues? Is there anything behind the phone that we're dealing with that we're unaware of?
I mean, if I answer your question with a question and ask you if you have any mental health issues, what are you going to say?
Well, I asked you first, and so if you don't want to answer the question and you want to answer it with a question, that's entirely up to you. But again, the subject of this
Did you notice that
room.
you did that? But did you notice you did that earlier? And that was very disrespectful of you. And I asked you, how do you know that? And you never explained it. So before you, again,
Okay, I'm gonna give you
along
60
yourself,
seconds. Go ahead.
then I would like you to explain how it is that you know what you know.
So you want me to explain to you what I know. And, I would just ask you, do you believe that those who say they know do not know, and those who know do not say, as it says in Lao Tzu's Tao Te Ching, the Book of Changes? Well, we're getting to the transition point of my room creation here, and I want to thank all the participants.
Honestly, man, I think that you're a very likable person. You seem like you have a personality, and you're actually quite funny at times. I do respect your opinion. I mean, I kind of see some of what you're saying in Clubhouse, and at the same time, it's not so much what you're making it out to be, you know? And I mean, I don't see what these cope rooms are about. Like, I notice people do that on here a lot. Like, they'll interact with somebody else on here or get into a discussion with another interlocutor, and then they open up a room, and this is like their cope session after wasting their time. And then, it's like, well, you're sitting here criticizing everyone else on here and you're doing the same thing, but as you're sitting here doing the same thing, you're kind of like distinguishing yourself as like some sort of an artist. So you get to put yourself in the judge's seat and make judgments about everybody else. I mean, does that all apply to you?
Okay, I'm past the question and answer stage of my room creation. I apologize. But if there's anything else you'd like to say prior to the poem that I'm about to read, go ahead and say it now. Thank you very little.
He's evading. He's evading. Don't get over it.
It's okay.
Doctor is evading.
It's not evading. There are times, Narjas.
How did you even get like?
There are times when I just will not entertain questions because the truth is I don't have to entertain every question that comes my way, and I just feel like
These are
it's very compulsive.
that he's asking you.
It doesn't. Well, go ahead. You can answer it if you want, but I would.
The subject to you.
Okay, well, let me just ask. Go ahead and just summarize the question. I will quickly answer for you, and then I will give you 60-second follow-up. But then I'm going to read a poem. Go ahead.
All right, let's start off with something really easy. How the heck did you get a picture of Daniel, and how did he get a picture of you? Like, you guys must have been close at some point. Like, how did you guys get into?
He posted a picture of himself with some guy that he was talking about, and I took a screenshot of it. What do you mean?
Why would you do that?
Why would I take a screenshot of him looking like a stinky fart? So I can always remember that he's a stinky fart. What do you mean? He's disgusting.
Why would you need to take a photograph of that in order to remember that? I don't get it.
Because on my phone, I screenshot everything. I'm very compulsive about screenshots. Does that answer your question?
And how is that art? Are you planning on making a collage with it or something?
Maybe. Okay, last question. Then I'll give you a 60-second follow-up.
Can I ask you a question? So you have asked me included in your PTR, right?
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't there for half the room because I forgot it was around the phone, and I wasn't even listening to it. So how do you see those who are mods, whatever, and are not true participants because they're just not around? Would you attribute the entire freaking? How does the human psyche work? In your head, are you thinking, okay, this person is also participating in the conversation or is listening in?
No, I don't carry anything with me that far. That's crazy. This is one of the reasons why it's easier just to record these rooms, because a lot of people will carry people to 3 rooms from now, 10 rooms from now. I just want to refresh every morning when I wake up, and so it's very easy to just record these rooms, call it art, which technically it is, because there's a lot of art involved in this. The art of even setting all this up, even coming to this, because most people are only operating with one phone, and that's all they got. And, anyways, the thing is consistency on these rooms. I want to record consistent rooms and consistent speakers because technically the people who speak the most are like the most sociopathic amongst us. And this app is a perfect place to do observation of the human personality and psychological and character, So it's fucking awesome in my opinion. There's X isn't even close to as good as this because this is a much like closer community and the platform itself is better than X. So to me, most organizations are missing out on this opportunity to test communication here. It's instantaneous feedback on whatever concept your organization is considering putting out. So it's really an awesome, powerful tool. And look at the room we're in right now. I got in another room in my house. I got 6 phones pointed at Amir's room, recording it and live streaming it onto YouTube. And people all around the world are commenting on it. And I hope they never stop. And what's crazy to me is, like,
Not many people watch your videos, to be honest.
that's okay. It doesn't matter. The thing is, it's all practice leading up to a breakthrough. But the cool thing is, and which is unbelievable to me, is like, I get notifications from YouTube saying, hey, your video has been removed because it violates our hate speech policy. And then I go and I look to see what the violation is, and then I play it, and then I appeal it. And then somebody in the Philippines watches it and they go, yep, this was not hate speech violation. I will make the video public again, and you do not have community guidelines, right? And so, how in the world can their algorithm, because it's totally subjective. Like, to me, if I hear somebody saying stuff, I'd be like, yeah, that could be like, that's possible terrorist and hate speech. But like, how does that YouTube algorithm not think that all the shit it's hearing is not hate speech? You see my point? Like, how the fuck is it not calling it all hate speech? It's because the algorithm is biased for preference and race and ethnicity and geographic. Like, how the fuck can the algorithm know that? It's unbelievable. So it's totally biased. And as a white heterosexual Christian American male, I'm just wondering, how does it know what I'm saying, is considered hate speech or not hate speech? Because clearly, almost like 99.9% of everything I say is not hate speech. But how in the world, like, what are the words? What are the phrases? What's the intonations? Like, what kind of voodoo do I do, to trigger it? But like, if I can record Amir's room and it's a complainium of people hating on the Israelis and the Zionists and the Jews and the Ashkenazi Khazars and all this shit, like, how the fuck does it not label that? So, censorship is real because the problem with the radical, mind is that it just knows no limits. And we have to focus our minds. And those types of rooms, in my opinion, are indicative of people who don't know how to meditate, don't know how to control their bubble, and they are a victim of chance and fortune as opposed to, getting ahead of it and being a little quicker and being able to modify their destiny.
That's why I asked you, like, how do you know that? Because a lot of these people sit here and they'll either get into rhetoric or they'll read up something or they'll try to find an article or they'll ask you to cite a source. I mean, even though their mind's not clear, constantly meditating on this proposition you want to prove to be true and then present your case and evidence for it. I mean, it's actually thrilling to get the chance and opportunity to test your intellect against other people. I think a lot of Democrats and Republicans, for an example, want to be able to debate themselves in spaces like this to test their knowledge and see what works and what doesn't. I just think perhaps people get a little too ahead of themselves and they buckle down a little too hard. And they have a bias, and some people get tunnel vision and they get kind of stuck in bad habits. I'll watch philosophers do this all the time. The good philosophers, there's better philosophers than me, but I can point out flaws in their logic or issues, and they'll just be perplexed, and it just boils down to personal incredulity. I don't want to believe that because my feelings won't allow me to.
Yeah, I have seen that. But you can reach a state of mind where you can totally drop that sort of personal, I mean, not totally, but to a large extent. And I think that's what I do in these rooms. Like, I can truly look at it from, if I get into the mode, I can see the whole thing quite unbiased. However, if I go into like the Iranian rooms, something in me like brings up memories of, I don't know, childhood. Like, there's some connection there, but I know I am not being completely unbiased. That's why I don't speak in those rooms. But when I know that I'm ready to be unbiased or objective, then yeah, no matter what the room title is or no matter how heated the conversation is, I think I try to insert objectivity into spaces so that truth can be, I don't know, found, no matter what the conversation is. It's almost like a reflex, knee-jerk reaction for me. It's like, look at the other side too. And then in some spaces, I'll get like confrontation. Like, wow, you're not on our side. And that's fine. I don't have to be on your side.
Well, I thought the whole point of like religion or let's say politics or anything that's like dealing with some, human, like whatever the case may be, it's like people are trying to come together and figure these things out. And that's kind of the point of it, to suspend.
They're not, Rigo. They're not. They're coming to be biased. They're assholes. Like, it's really sick. They just hold one opinion. Very few of us, I think, on this app actually want to philosophize or be objective about the world, no matter what the topic is.
Well, it's not just about being objective.
I can agree to that. I mean, a lot of times, like, that's why I often don't start with, that's why I'll just grant somebody their presuppositions and say, well, I'll grant it, fuck it, and now let's see how it aligns up with my worldview and how you account from there. And it's just, okay, I have no realistic reason to take what you believe seriously. And I debate more atheists on here than anything else, and they don't believe in anything. So it's like, I want a right to do this, I want rights. And then I ask them,
God not doing this?
Where do your rights come from?
Human God.
Okay, fine. You don't believe in anything, so why should I believe you? And you literally interdepend on the benevolence, and let's be real here, of religious people who actually have metaphysics. I mean, you could sit there and scrutinize.
You don't indulge in
Muslims all day.
metaphysics. This is why I indulge in physics with you, because they won't even like take the time to.
Wait, you know physics? You know physics? Give me the equation for velocity.
Not physics, metaphysics.
Oh, well, physics is like metaphysics, and metaphysics is like physics.
No, there are things that undergird like metaphysics that are like purely conceptual that we can't even like, let's say, like test for.
Well,
it's just something that's assumed.
Well, is it the theory of gravity or is it the law of gravity?
Well, you can get to the theory or the law if you're not even going to talk about what logic is first and the law of non-contradiction and identity and exclude it. No.
Oh, okay.
Because you have to have that first.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well,
ground yourself in it.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you all for coming to this room. This is Call the FBI in Los Angeles and report Amir the car rental, a piece of shit terrorist, to the FBI. We're going to now transition to the musical component of this room. Feel free to leave if it becomes too annoying. And I also, do believe that a lot of people have attention deficit disorder on this app, and they really want their dopamine bad. But you've got 2 ears, 1 mouth, and that's really because you should probably listen twice as much as you speak. If you actually do that, you'll realize the truth of the earth. And the truth of the word earth is the first 3 letters are ear. And you've got 2 of those. So it doesn't mean you got 2 earths. It means you got 2 ears to listen. And people on this app really love that dopamine. And it turns out that the more you love creating dopamine by talking endlessly, there's a very high correlation chance that you might actually be a dope. Not necessarily a dope head, but a dope. Not stupid, but a fool. Because I know nobody is stupid if you can read. And somebody on YouTube just wrote, Woke Suwajsiki, your CEO is the mother of YouTube algorithms. Not sure what that means. Anyways, let's get to the musical portion. We're going to play the Chinese flute. And then I'm going to read a quick little poem and go hop in the hot tub with Pamela Anderson. And she's only when she was 26. Here we go. Never had one lesson. We cleared the room, we cleaned the house. Oy vey, Rabbono Shalom. Another Shabbos miracle. Oy vey.
Are you prepared to say that anyone who is still pro-Hamas within Palestine is therefore in the same boat as me and a genocide supporter? And if not, why not? Because it's the exact same situation. Okay, I'm potentially prepared to say that, provided you say the same. Okay, I'll say the same. Okay, then we agree. So okay. So then, what do you say to the people who are pro-Hamas and Palestine in order to convince them to not have these views anymore? It's a loaded question. Well, they're clearly the wrong views. You deserve better leadership. That's number one. I agree. Number two. I wish that Netanyahu didn't allow the flow of $1 billion+ to this leadership. Number three, unfortunately, let's look within your own societies, band together. Netanyahu and the Likud party's plan has always been, as stated in their charter, to prevent the formation of a Palestinian state. They do not support Palestinian state. So the Palestinians are responsible to a degree, of course, for the things that exist within their society. And Israel, the so-called beacon of democracy in the Middle East, is also responsible. And maybe if you live in a world where you hold the people with more power responsible, I just don't understand why Israel knowingly sent $1 billion to a terrorist group and a genocidal group. That is a breakthrough. And let me ask you this: if that is a breakthrough, and I've said this in this room before, yes, that is a breakthrough. I don't know if 40% is right. I don't know if 70% is right. I don't know if 10% is right. So there's someone saying that hasn't been validated. I agree. But what I don't see and what I don't understand is if Shape's viewpoint is shared by others, and maybe it isn't. I like Shape's viewpoint, by the way. Where is the protest against Hamas? It doesn't exist from the Palestinian groups. It should exist. Actually, there have been protests against Hamas. I'm not even against the protests against Israel. I'm fine with the protests against Israel, but there needs to be a sister movement saying, by the way, these guys have made our lives complete shit as well.